Supreme. Abundance. Let me talk with my people real quick. Supreme, Rahu back. Here we go with this again. Rahu back, greetings, shalom, konnichiwa, hola, buongiorno, wagwan, pataswa. Man, I did a lot of them. Forgive me. I did a lot of them. Forgive me, please. Oh, man. You know, I get asked so many questions. And I love it. I'm not going to lie to you, my people. I love it. I love when people come up to me and they ask me about questions about their health or when they say things and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what's up. Hey, but let me correct you real quick. What you're saying is right, but look, this is really how it's supposed to go. If you do X, Y, and Z, and if you do it in that platform, in that sequence, that numerological sequence, I promise you, you will get the results that you know, I love it. But when people come up to me and they got questions about spirituality, I love it. Or when people come up to me and they got questions about, you know, astrology or certain constellations that there are. I mean, I don't know them all, but I know a good bit of them. You know, I love that. I love when people come up to me and they ask me about supreme mathematics and how's that tie into science, and when you apply mathematics, supreme mathematics with supreme science, all that really is magic. You can conjure up things. I love it. You know, or how to pray, or how to invoke over your name, or how to, you know, do things like that. I love it. You know. And I'm really thankful and I'm really grateful that I'm blessed with spiritual insight and spiritual gifts. I really am. Look at that blue bird. Now that's a bird of God. If y'all don't know what the birds mean, a blue bird, that's a bird of communication straight from God, straight from source. And you know, I get asked a lot of times about what is it that I believe in as far as my like religion or my stance of things. And to be for real with you guys, I mean, you guys gotta forgive me too. It is like 94 degrees out here, and I just left the gym. So my body temperature, I promise you, is every bit of 100. But I feel smooth. I mean, I don't feel uncomfortable. I'm just condensating. But I don't feel uncomfortable at all. My body feels absolutely fantastic. I might be a little thirsty, but I have water. Please. I'm okay. Yeah, but everybody always asks me about my spiritual orientation. Like, well, to be honest with you guys, I grew up Christian, of course. You know, I grew up Christian in a Christian household. Of course, I had questions. I had questions like everybody else. You know, things, you know, that book, I know what it is now, but at the time I didn't know what it was. And it's very confusing because in that book, in the Bible, you have what they would call the New Testament and the Old Testament. And a lot of times they never go off the Old Testament. I always used to, that was one of my questions, was why is it that we never go off the Old Testament? Why is it always what the New Testament said? Well, the New Testament is off of Jesus. Well, here's my other question off of that. Well, if that's the case, and I know for a fact that J's never existed, just like James. James is not a name that existed in the Hebraic language. It would be, I think it's Yaakov. Yaakov is how you would say James. Yaakov or Jacob or Yaakov would be how you would say James in Hebrew. but I think the name is more of Yaakov. Yaakov is how you would say James in Hebrew. But I mean, so yeah, I mean, you know, we're going off of the New Testament, and it's about Jesus. And Jesus, the name Jesus doesn't exist. I mean, it would be Yeshua. I mean, or Yeshua, which would mean our Savior. I mean, and the name that would be our Savior is just a name. That's all it means, is our Savior. So, you know, most of the times, especially in ancient times, people were normally named after their forefathers and also after their point of region of where they were born. You know, that's why you would have like Yeshua of Nazareth, you know, or you would have somewhere like that. But I don't want to get sidetracked. But yeah, I just had questions. I had a lot of questions, major questions. You know what I'm saying? Just things that I had that everybody that didn't have the answers to it. Most people don't. They just kind of brush, oh, you shouldn't question things like that. But you should, because you should question everything. Because how do you know what's real and what's not? What's phony and what's fake? You should question everything. That God that y'all talk about, right? The Most High is what I like to call it. The Most High, the Creator, the primal source, the source of it all, is not the author of confusion. He's the author of clarity. He doesn't, you know, the supreme source does not have confusion when it sends you a download or information or frozen geometry, which you would consider light. Sends you clarity. That light, that frozen geometry, which is just a mathematical problem that's frozen. That's why it looks like a beam, a long mathematical equation, a Fibonacci sequence. When it hits you, it pierces your prism, your stardust, your skin. And it starts decoding information with your DNA. So the fact of the matter is, I studied a lot of different other things. You know, I picked up a couple of occult books just to learn. It wasn't that I wanted to force some stuff or do some stuff. I just wanted to learn. Because a lot of the stuff that they can deem to be spooky or not for us is our information as far as heavily melanated people, or the original people of this planet. You know, and to the truth behind it all is, before we ever got any type of religion, we were spiritual first. We're spiritual first. Before anything else, we're spiritual. Religion only came with colonization and dictatorship. That's where religion came in. When it was forced upon another man to look at another man's way. Spirituality is more of an individual thing, whereas you and the source. That's how I like to consider it. That's how my orientation is. So when people say that I'm spiritual, I don't get mad about that. I don't get mad about people saying I'm spiritual. 929 on the timestamp. We're all spiritual. Before any orientation, we're all spirits first. But as far as me, I just have a connection with the source, with the creator of all. It's spiritual, yes, but I don't like to put a classification on it because it has no classification. It's an independent relationship between me and the creator of all things. And I love every second of it. I love the information that I get in downloads. I love the pursuit to go find out things that I get inklings on or want to dive further into because I have a feeling about it. I wear the Ankh because I'm attached to Egypt. I'm attached to Tartaria. I'm attached to Lemuria. I'm attached to Atlantis. I'm attached to the ice wall. I'm attached to every place over the ice wall. I'm attached to everything. Everything and everywhere. I'm ancient. I'm as ancient as can be. And then it was when I learned about self, was when I stopped putting the classifications of these different religions that I tried to learn. As a Christian, I felt like I should have been more structured. I should be a Muslim. I should be following Islamic beliefs. And then when I started to read the Torah, I started to get a different understanding of things. Different words, etymology brought me to different ideas, concepts, beliefs, because there's so many different words that we think that we know the meaning of that we absolutely do not know the meaning of. 1212 on the timestamp. And once you do etymology, once you have studied etymology and you break down these words like Elohims and Els, you'll start realizing that we're just etheric beings. Some of us are 9 ethers, some of us are 8s and 7s. And then you have the majority of, mankind who are 6 ethers. Me, I am a being that happens to be a human. I am a different hue of color. Pardon me. It says my device is too hot. Like I said, it is 94 degrees out here, man. I ain't gonna lie. That feels amazing though, guys. It really do. I can't wait to be at a beach somewhere. That's a little sidebar for somebody. I can't wait to be at the beach somewhere. Yeah, I really can't. But I'm just spiritual, guys. I'm just spiritual. And I'm very much tapped in the source. I'm very much tapped in the source. I can't help but when I hear things, when I see things, sometimes I close my eyes and I can see things. Names, ideas get put into my head. And I just know how to move and where to move. But that's just for me. Everybody has their own spiritual ability. Everybody does. Everybody has in some way, shape, and form and fashion their own spiritual ability. Just harness yours. Or if you need help to try to harness yours, just ask. I could show you things. I could help a person with numerology. I could help a person with astrology, meditation, how to tap in, trying to figure out what a dream means. I could try to figure it out for you. I'm very prophetic. I promise you, there are more people than there aren't that will tell you the things that I have said have came to pass. And I have a lot more things to say. It's a crazy world out here. And it only gets crazier. I mean, there's a lot going on, people. I mean, really, and truthfully, let's talk for a second. There's a lot going on. I mean, already this year, we've had planetary alignments. We've had what? Lunar eclipse, solar eclipse. A planetary alignment. We've had 2 planetary alignments, I think. And I think one planetary alignment has never been seen before in like 26,000 years, which is like, or 24,000. Don't correct me on that. It's a long time. But I mean, how in the hell would they know how long it's been since the planetary alignment? Who kept track of that? See what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of questions. Now they're coming out saying there's aliens, right? There's P45s and P50s, right? They're looking for certain blood types, right? They turned into Ancestry and 21andMe and all that. Now, personally, I didn't turn one in. Somebody turned one in for me. I didn't personally turn one in. Somebody thought to do it for like a Christmas present or something, while, at the same time, I'm not going to sit there and, okay, yeah, I was kind of slightly still in the Matrix, and plus I thought it was a little bit cool to try to do your ancestry and stuff. Now I find out that the government was buying that stuff all the whole time to try to find out whose bloodline is who. Well, guys, oops. That's hilarious. Hey, but listen, I'm not worried. I never been worried. I don't, worry about stuff like that. That stuff is not in my reality. In my reality, there's nothing but supreme abundance. Supreme abundance at all times. Even with the hiccups, there's nothing but supreme abundance. Every time I turn around, I'm abundant with something. Man, everything I've ever wanted, I've gotten. Everything I've ever wanted, I've gotten. And I want so much more. So I think it's time to get some more stuff, right? So, with that said, let's see where Spirit takes me. And I trust Spirit, and Spirit trusts me. I am literally the source's child. I just want to say peace, love, and light to all you guys. If there's anything that anybody wants to say to me, any questions, anything that you guys personally want to know as far as, questions about things, because we're in amazing times, guys. Amazing times. I'm going to tell you guys straight up right now. We're in amazing times. We are going to see things that we have never seen before, ever in life. And it's going to scare a lot of people, because a lot of the stuff that we're going to see and a lot of the stuff that we have seen already, guys, have been prophesized in that book of Revelations. But if you know what you know, right? If you know what you know, then you know that this is an amazing time to be alive. This is an amazing time to strive to be supreme and to be the best version of yourself that you could possibly be. Because that future version of yourself is waiting for you, with the cars that you always wanted, with the relationship that you always wanted, with the house that you always wanted, with the demeanor that you always wanted, with the physique that you always wanted, with the life that you always wanted. He's waiting. She's waiting. They're waiting for you. What are you waiting for? You're waiting on somebody to move the fear from in front of your face. Move that shit. Go get what you want. And everything else, don't worry about it. Because it's supposed to be where it's supposed to be. And you're supposed to be where you're supposed to be. And that's a fact. Supreme abundance to you all. Peace, love, and light, first and foremost. Supreme peace, love, and light. Of the highest light. I wish you guys nothing but love. I honor you. I respect you. And I'm grateful for you. And I wish you all supreme abundance. And the same energy that you put out into the universe being the same energy that comes back to you supremely. And with the same energy that's in the universe being the same energy that's within me. So it is so. With pinpoint accuracy. And may that light of the highest light that finds you with the energy that you put out into the universe, the multiverse, the omniverse, that comes back to you. When it comes back to you with pinpoint accuracy, I hope it comes back to you with the understanding and the betterment to be better. And that it will help you focus on the opportunity to be at your highest self and not at your lowest stature. And so that is so. Supreme abundance to you all. And to you all, supreme abundance.